What's your favorite scary movie?
We have such sights to show you.
Monsters!
All you ever learn is my desire.
My name is Frankenstein!
Batman's gone mad!
Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
See this? This is my boomstick!
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice meat. What's this?
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It's alive! It's alive!
Here's Johnny. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror.
What's up, all you horror movie loving fuckers? Welcome back to another episode of the Fright Flick FMK Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jay. And today, if you're listening to this, it's the day after Thanksgiving, the day after being so thankful for everything that you have. And this is now Friday. And you're probably out there fighting all these crowds on this after Thanksgiving Day sale, and everybody's fucking being, freaking out because they want this and this and this and this and this off the Black Friday sale. And you just had your day of fucking Thanksgiving yesterday, people. This is the day after Thanksgiving when you're listening to this. Hope you all had a great holiday day. Hope you enjoyed the whatever your Thanksgiving thing is, whatever your meal or tradition or whatever. Hope it was a fucking good one. We did the usual here at the Fright Flick family. We do the usual. Our Thanksgiving is we make homemade pizza. Yeah, that's what I said. Homemade pizza. And, that's how we do Thanksgiving here. Homemade pizza. We watch some football. We watch some sports. And we watch some fucking horror movies. That's a tradition here at the household. But, like I said, hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you're all out there fighting the mass crazy crowd on this after Thanksgiving sale. I don't do that shit no more. They make a little thing called Amazon and shit like that. I am not, going out in no crowds anymore. Not doing that shit no more. But hope y'all had a good week. It's that time of the week for everybody. Your belly's already been full. You got all your shopping, all that shit done. Now it's time to pull up the chair, come up here to the table, bring your favorite drinks, your favorite smokes, whatever you got. That's what we're gonna do here tonight. We're gonna shoot the shit, talk about a horror movie, and yeah. And when it's all said and done, I'll tell you if I'd rather fuck it, marry it, or kill it. Now, before we get into all that fun shit, there's something I want to talk about now. Because, some people don't hang around to the end of the show and you'll miss out on this. But here we are right now, family. We have finally done it. We've been talking about it for a while. We have finally hit the 500 subscribers on our YouTube channel. Hey, that's a big deal for us. We're a fucking little shit show that likes to talk about horror movies, and we are not politically correct, and we joke about things and talk about things, so that's a big deal for us. We appreciate we appreciate the hell out of anybody that subscribes to our show and listens to us and has followed along. We appreciate it, but we finally hit the 500. And we've been saying now, me and John have been saying for a while, we're going to do a live episode once we get to the 500. And we've gotten there. And we're doing it now, family. We're finally doing it. We hit the 500. It's planned. The movie's been picked out, and the date's been set. We're going to have our very first ever live show. It's going to be to celebrate our 500 subscribers on the YouTube, but we're going live on YouTube Live. How it's going to go down. It's going to go down. Mark your calendars, family, next week. I want to get all the info right for you real quick. But we're going live. next Wednesday, next week, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 2 hours. Me and John going live, first time ever on the YouTube side. And we already have a movie we're going to talk about. We are, just in case, you know, many people may not show up to our little live celebration, you know, so there may not be a whole lot of interactions. May not be nobody there asking questions, whatever. So we got to fill the fucking 2 hours, family, to celebrate. And so we got us a movie we're going to talk about. And we wanted to make it where you can watch the movie also. And then you, if you want to hang out with us on live, you know, and drop your comments or whatever while we're doing it, you can have your own opinion of this movie. And this movie you can watch on YouTube. The full thing. And me and John, we were talking about it. We were like, man, what do you want to talk about? What kind of movie? I was like, I don't know. We were looking, but I said, I want it to be free. I want it to be where everybody can watch it and can be there and talk about it or whatever. So we were looking around, and then John had the brilliant idea. He's like, why don't we just try to look around and find one of the most lowest rated type horror movies, like IMDb, whatever gives it that like bottom of the barrel type rating. And that's the one we're going to talk about. And so next week's live show, next Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Me and John, live, we're going to be talking about a movie called The Human Zoo. You can watch it on YouTube, Human Zoo. And that way you can watch it and stop by and make comments and joke with us, whatever we may do. I've never seen the movie. Never seen it. I'm not going to watch a trailer. I don't know nothing about it. I'm going to watch it probably the day of the show that we're going to go live. And then I'm just going to watch it that day. And then bam, we're going straight into the show. And on that episode, I finally, I have behind me, if you're watching on the YouTube, but there behind me is a brand new Jack Daniel's Frank Sinatra edition bottle back there behind me. I'm a huge Frank Sinatra fan. My wife bought me this Jack Daniel's Frank Sinatra sitting behind me. And I have yet to take a sip. When I got it, it was right when me and John kind of started the show. And when I started the YouTube side of it. And, you know, we had talks about doing a live show at 100 subscribers, 200 subscribers. And then we finally just like, fuck it, man, let's just go for the 500. And that's when I'm finally going to open that, you know, and I want to make me a drink for the 500. And then I want to put that bottle back. I want to make me enough for one good drink. I want to put that bottle back. And then I'll crack it again when I hit 1,000. You know, so looking forward to finally getting to pour into that Frank Sinatra Jack Daniels. Like I said, next week, live, first time ever, 500 subscriber show, just to be like, hey, fuck yeah, we made it to 500, you know, and it's going to be live. We will answer any questions. If you got questions that you want us to answer on the show, reach out through social media, ask us. Nothing will be off limits. This will definitely be mature audiences only type of thing, just like any of our episodes, really, if you listen to this fucking shit show. But yeah, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate everybody who has subscribed, who has followed along, who has stuck with this little fucked up family and stops by every week and listen to us just, you know, drink and shoot the shit about horror movies. And yeah, I just want to get that out of the way now because some of y'all won't make it to the end. I get it, you know, but that's out of the way. That's the housekeeping shit done. And now we can get into this movie that, you know, we're going to talk about. I knew it was Thanksgiving. I went looking for a Thanksgiving movie. I want something turkey related, you know, Turkey Day. And so I'm looking, and I wanted to go to YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, but fucking Tubi. I wanted something free that everybody can kind of check out and be able to watch, you know. And so I was like, you know, Tubi's my baby. I love fucking Tubi. I love going down the rabbit holes in Tubi, looking for shit, trying to find stuff that I've never heard of, and maybe some people out there just not familiar with. And so I'm looking through, you know, and I came across this one, it's not a new movie. It's a 2017 flick. But this movie is called Derelicts. That's it. Derelicts. And, I went on Tubi and I did a search, looking for something Thanksgiving that I haven't seen. I want it to be something I'd never seen, something I'd never heard of. And so when I seen it, I was like, the cover, cool cover. When I first seen it, that's what kind of jumped out at me. Cool cover, and I was like, fuck, that's the one. And I was like, I watched it right then. I was like, okay, this is the one I want to do. And so I'm recording this, and I literally just finished watching the movie less than an hour ago. And so, yeah, I came across it on the lovely Tubi. And thank you, Tubi, for all you do. I can handle an advertisement every now and then, Tubi. It's okay. You give me some you just keep giving me horror, and we going to be okay with you, Tubi. But, and so I'm looking, and for me, if you've listened to the show, if you've listened to me, I enjoy independent horror. I enjoy the low budgets, man. I like those. Those are the best for me. I look for movies like that. I love getting to talk about independent films, low budget films that a lot of people may not, mainstream, you don't see it. And, and this is one of those when I went looking for it, I was like, man, I never heard of it. I didn't watch no trailer of it. I was just like, fuck it, man. We're just going to push play, and then we're going to have us some drinks. And then when it's all said and done, we're going to gather around the fucking family table like we're doing right now. And we're about to talk some shit about it. So you've had time, family. I hope you've all had time to watch the movie. I hope you had time to run to the kitchen, get your favorite beverage, roll your smokes, whatever you're ready to do. But we're about to jump into it right now. So, I'm going to give you the quick little, this is right off of Tubi, actually, the little description. Thanksgiving Day for a dysfunctional upper-class family takes a terrifying turn when their suburban home is invaded by a gang of sadistic drifters. Like I said, 2017 flick. It's only about an hour and 10 minutes. Don't take up a whole lot of your time. Director, Brett Glassberg. I think I'm saying it right. Writers, Andre. So last name I can't pronounce very well. Evans, Brett, whatever. My bad. And then Glassberg again. There's quite a few people in this movie. No, I don't say a lot, but like 8 to 10, maybe 10, 12. I could go down the whole cast and crew. Hey, you can find that shit on fucking Google, IMDb. I'm not going to waste time listing off all the names of everybody. There are some names I remember when I watched it. I do take a few little notes as I'm watching, just little thoughts that pop in my head while I'm watching a movie, And so, and if you're new right now, if you're just kind of listening, if you're tagging along with somebody right now and you're hearing this for the first time, we talk about a movie just like if I just seen it, and then you're sitting across from me right now, we're having a drink, and I'm just telling you about a movie I seen. I'm not a get into the weeds type of person. I'm not a big, drilling down into trying to get every thought or what this was meant to push across or what. I don't do that. I am privileged enough to be able to watch movies, and I don't go those type of rabbit holes in depth into weeds type shit. I'm lucky like that, I guess. I can watch movies and just enjoy the fucking ride. And so that's kind of the way we do it here. I'm gonna kind of go through this bad boy. I'm gonna spoil the shit out of it, and then when it's all said and done, I'll tell you if I'd rather fuck it, marry it, or kill it. So here we go. Derelicts. No clue what I'm getting into. A push play. Bam. First shot, we're gonna get us a lady laying in, I think it's kind of like some driving down the road and shit, and then you get a lady laying in bed. You can kind of see her head on the pillow type shit, and then all of a sudden, a quick little attention grab, a thing of blood, like a drip of blood, falls on her cheek. I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna start right out of the gate, a little drip of blood, and then all of a sudden it kind of shifts, and then we get a shot of it's like a husband and wife laying in bed. The drop of blood thing's not there right now. Now the wife's in the bed. The dad dude, whose name is fucking Greg, him I do remember. Greg is laying there kind of awake, And when I first started it, this is like the very beginning of the movie, you know, you haven't got my volume adjusted just right yet. You know, I push play and I'm kind of waiting for everything to kind of settle so I get my volume where I wanted it. And so when it first gets to this part, I got my dude Greg. He's just kind of laying in bed wide awake. His wife next to him. I still don't remember her name. But she's knocked out. Well, Greg just laying there. But then at this moment, I'm hearing some background noise, but I hadn't got my volume set right yet. I'm pushing my volume up. I can hear everything. And of course, I got my subtitles on. Subtitles are a must. So I'm upping the volume. I've seen my man Greg laying there in the bed, wide awake. I'm upping the volume. I'm hearing some noise. I'm like, what is this noise? And then all of a sudden, the noise comes in. I'm like, holy shit, there's somebody fucking in the background. Like, dude is laying in bed having to hear some fucking going on. And then, like, I'm thinking, like, holy shit, dude, his own house. He got people like just like, maybe I'm assuming it's his house, but you know, you hear some fucking noise going on. You're like, damn, somebody getting it on. But then it kind of gives you a couple shots. You get like a teenage, look like a daughter. I think her name is Beverly. You get a shot of her kind of laying in bed, but then it kind of gets your attention because the pillow that she's laying on, you see like this red stain on it, and you know, you come to find out it looks like it's a blood stain, and then you come to see like a close-up of her, and she got like a little blood around her nose and the blood on the pillow type shit. And then it gives us a shot of like a teenager. I think his name's Leslie. It's probably like the son in the family, the brother to the fucking nosebleeder that we just seen in the bed. Now, Leslie's laying there. And while all this is going on still, you still hear there's some fucking going on in the background. There is somebody laying it down, that type of shit's going on in the background. And so then we get a shot of Leslie. Leslie's laying in bed. Leslie's in bed, and dude's got his hands down halfway down his pants, and you see all these little fucking tissues next to him. And at first, when I seen that, I'm like, holy shit, is this dude laying in bed listening to the fucking going on in the background? And that made him horny, and he had to rub one out. Was he rubbing one out to that sound going on in the background? You know? But later you come to find out that the motherfucking Leslie's just he just enjoys, he's very sexual. He enjoys his porn sites. He enjoys rubbing one out. Hey, I ain't judging. You know, I grew up in the before the glory days of, you know, internet and Pornhub and all them sites where you just get free porn all day long. I was, you know, grew up before that time. You know, we had to make it happen with a fucking, you know, the Sears Roebuck, you know, catalog that came in the mail, or the JCPenney shit that, you know, mama may have had sitting on the side where you just got the ladies in the bras and the lingerie. That's what we had to use to handle our business back then. And that's okay. That's okay, family. I guarantee you to this day, a good old JCPenney catalog with some 1990 something lingerie, I could still make it happen. Guarantee you I could still make it happen. That's how we grew up. Nowadays, you know, with all the fucking websites and phones, like literally on your phone, you could just be getting asses getting clapped just right there on your phone. And you can tell with this boy Leslie, he's done that. There's quite a few tissues around there, you know. But Leslie wasn't rubbing one out to the sound. Leslie had already he had done rubbed his out, and Leslie was in that after sleep, that after nut nap. You know, where you get that out of the way and you're kind of like, oh, I can take a nap now. Leslie's out. So right now I got the dad, the mom, what I'm assuming, dad, mom, daughter, and son. Still don't know where the fucking ass clapping's coming from. But then all of a sudden we find out. We get there's like a grandma and grandpa. Like, I don't remember the pawpaw's name. He is the dad to the mother in the family. So it's her dad. And he got old girl in bed, and it's his girlfriend. Not his wife. I thought it was his wife, but it's his girlfriend. Bev, I think, may have been her name. But, you know, Pawpaw's behind Bev. He's just fucking laying it to her. You know, and that's what all the fucking ruckus is Pawpaw's up in there just, you know, beating that meat up. And he just like that sound, you know, and fucking Greg's having to listen to it. And you come to find out this is Thanksgiving Day. Like, the family's in town. Like, you know, the father-in-law, he's in town with his girlfriend. You know, Greg's got it's his house. He's got his family there. he's waiting on, I think it's like his wife's brother, his brother-in-law, and his son. So it's a little family gathering. It's Thanksgiving morning, you know, and so when all that's going on, it eventually gets to where the mom goes downstairs, and Greg, the husband, is in there, and he's like got coffee going, and they're kind of talking. And one thing right out of that just jumped out at me is like you could hear the sound of the coffee, like, you know, when coffee's being made, and it's just dribbling into the coffee pot, and it was super loud. You could hear it, but she's kind of talking to him, and he's making comments like, Greg is making comments like, you know, to her, his wife, like, who's getting laid more in the house, her dad or their daughter? It was some weird comment, and right out of something was just off with old Greg and his wife, and in that moment, like, the wife just had the moment hit her. Mama wanted some morning time Thanksgiving loving right there in the kitchen. Like when he hands her the coffee, Greg hands her the coffee, she kind of gives him that look. She's got the coffee cup. Greg's got the coffee cup. They're standing there in the kitchen. The kids are still asleep. You know, Pawpaw already up there busted his nut. He's about to take his after nut nap with his girlfriend. Now we downstairs, just husband and wife, Greg and the wife's name. And damn it, it's going to bother me now because I keep saying her wife. Let me see if I got to get this real quick, family. Hold on with me. I'm going to try to figure out the wife's name. Constance. That's it. Constance. Man, that's going to be another one. Every time I try to say it, it's like one of them names that takes too long to say. Constance. Well, here we are right now. Back to the show. Fucking Constance and Greg in the kitchen. She's giving him the look. Like she wants it right now in the kitchen, Greg. You about to get some Thanksgiving morning, right there in the kitchen. Before you even had your coffee, you're about to get it. She gives him the look. She's right, kind of face to face with him. And then he just kind of stops. He's just like, no, I don't want to fuck this morning. I got a lot going on today. I got to cook Thanksgiving dinner. And that's what Greg did. Greg shut her down. Greg just straight up shut her down. And, you know, and then the wife makes some comment to him. She's like, you're like the only person or every guy I've ever met, the only guy I've ever met that's just a stone cold bitch or some shit like that. And you can tell she's not happy right now. And I'm sitting there going like, Greg, dude, like, you was about to get some morning time in the kitchen loving. Not Greg. He said, no, I got a lot to do. I got to cook Thanksgiving dinner. And while this is going on, you get to another shot. There's like a part where this truck is driving down the road, and then we finally get to meet the brother-in-law and his son. I think it's I don't remember the brother-in-law's name, but I think the son was some country ass like Billy Joe or Bobby Joe or some shit like that. They're kind of riding down the road, and this teenager is kind of like, I don't want to go do this. And the dad's kind of be like, you know, got to be thankful and shit like that. And then there's this person on the side of the road holding up the sign. And, you know, and they're out in the country somewhere. You can tell by the fucking roads are on. This dude is out there holding up a sign like, and he's like one of those that you see on a busy street corner somewhere, like holding up the sign, trying to get a few dollars. But this dude's out on these back roads, you know, on them back roads. I would just think somebody's hitchhiking, like walking outside the road, thumb out, hitchhiking. This dude's on the side of the road, holding up the cardboard sign and everything. I'm like, dude, like how much business are you getting on this back ass country road? You just holding your little sign up. But then you're going to get the old brother-in-law driving by, and he's trying to make this point to his son about being thankful and shit like that. Well, then he pulls off on the side of the road. He's like, hey, you see this person over here on the side of the road? And I thought maybe he was going to offer him a ride. I thought he was going to pick him up. He'd be like, hey, why don't you come have Thanksgiving dinner with us? Because here you are on the side of the road all by yourself. And I just assumed like, okay, he's going to be like, you know, why don't you come have Thanksgiving dinner with us type thing. And so when he pulls up, it's not that. He just wants to be like, he's honking the horn at him, which was kind of, it kind of annoyed me. Like when he first pulled up, the dude's literally on the side of the road. This dude's on the other side of the road. And he's like, instead of like, hey, sir, I got a couple bucks for you, something like that. He's like honking the horn like a fucking idiot. And then he's telling the son, like, you know, if you're not going to be thankful, I bet this person would be thankful. So the dude comes over to the truck and the brother-in-law goes to hand him some money. And when he hands him the money, the dude grabs him by the arm and like, you can tell like breaks his arm. Dude starts screaming. Next thing you know, somebody comes out of the bushes on the side of the road, drags little Bobby Joe, whatever his fucking name is, out of the truck. And they got both of them like brother-in-law on the road, Bobby Joe on the side. And you could tell whatever jumped on little Bobby Joe, like he comes straight out of a hospital where he had like a hospital gown on and some shit on his head. And you can tell he's like, you know, looks like he's stabbing or whatever to little Bobby Joe. And then I'm assuming those two are dead. We got fucking Junior dead, brother-in-law dead. Now, before they died, they were driving up the road with the GPS. And the GPS says so many miles to destination. So when this little robbery went down, murder on the side of the road, we come to find out it's a group of 5. They're not, I think 2 of them, 1 or 2 of them was like brothers or some shit like that, but it's a group of 5 of them, like 4 guys, 1 chick. And they have stolen the truck. And they get in the truck and they're driving down the road and you hear the GPS say 10 miles to your next destination. So I'm thinking, okay, this group is going to go to the destination where those families were. And then that kind of makes sense to what the Tubi said, where it's like, you know, their Thanksgiving Day takes a terrifying turn when their home is invaded by some fucking sadistic drifters. And so this, okay, now we got us a home invasion horror, you know. At this point, I'm still okay with it. And right out the gate, when you started this, you can kind of tell it's one of those movies I'm a sucker for, man. I like low budget. Sometimes I like cheesy acting or just writing. I'm okay with it. You know, I enjoy looking for movies like that. Now, everybody grab your drinks real quick. Gentleman Jack break. That's good stuff right there. Good stuff. So, and back at the house, you kind of know what's coming at this point. You know that this group is going to go invade the house. But at the same time, you're seeing this weird family, man. This family is weird. You come to find out the daughter, she's got like a fucking cocaine problem. She's a runner in like high school is what it looks like a track runner. And her mom comes in there at some point. She's talking to her about how important everything is. And you can't really, it seems like this girl is like super stressed out. She's got a lot of pressure on her. She likes the cocaine. And, you know, the family's downstairs. The mom and the dad, you can just tell Greg and Constance is just they're not getting along. You get to actually finally, downstairs, we get fucking grandpa and his girlfriend, and you come to see that how the brother and sister fucking hate each other, and just the shit they talk to each other. The dad in this thing, man, the dad comes across as like that. Just he's defeated, man. It was like, you know, you get those dudes sometime in movies just ain't got no backbone. That just are fucking pussies through and through. And Greg gives that off at first. Like he's just one of those just getting fucking his wife's walking all over him, you know, making him feel like a piece of shit. The kids don't respect him. The kids, like you can tell the son don't respect him because there's one point right in the beginning where the son makes a comment to him and the dad just kind of stands there and the son's got this little smirk on his face. And then instantly in that moment, like if there was anybody in this movie up to right now that I fucking hated and I wanted something bad to happen to, it was that little fucking fat kid, Leslie, the son, when the dad says something to him and he makes a comment to his dad not having a job at that particular time, you know, and then when he puts this little smirk on his face, right when he turns to walk away from his dad, I wanted Leslie right then to die. Like, I don't know what's going to come of Leslie in this movie, but I hope it's something bad. I hope things do not work out well for Leslie. And that's what, and he's the first one I hate in this movie, because he's just disrespectful to his parents. Now, was it, you know, that's in that moment. This is the shit that goes through my head as I'm watching the movie. So they're trying to get the the dad's doing Thanksgiving dinner. This thing goes fast, people. The movie goes fast. A lot happens quickly. You know, the dad does all the work for the Thanksgiving thing. There's a point where dad's in the kitchen doing the cooking. Mom, who actually works, apparently dad's out of a job. Mom works. Mom seems like she sells houses because she's on like real estate, because she's online on her iPad looking at some stuff, trying to do work, you know. And then the daughter, she's in school, the teenager's in school, the dad's just kind of out of it, trying to, you know, maybe he's holding everything down because the wife's working, he ain't. Maybe that's why he got stuck with doing the whole Thanksgiving deal. Maybe the wife said, look, I go to work every day. You get your ass up, Greg, and you make that fucking turkey. And so maybe that's why. Because Greg does put off this little, like, you know, defeated, just he is lost, man. Kids don't respect him. The wife don't respect him. It's like, you're thinking like, damn, Greg, just end it, dude. Like, Greg's one of them you're going to see eventually just sitting there, you know, on the edge of a bed with a fucking shotgun in his hand, you know, going to paint the walls. And, you know, that's where I see Greg at. The family's just, it's just weird, man. They're just, and the mom, man, the mom is Constance. It's just, man, she's, you don't know. I don't figure her out for a little while. There's a part of her that almost seems like she's checked out. And this is where with this thing, this is like a home invasion movie. And after I started watching it, and especially when it gets toward the end, you know, it's got some psychological shit going on with it also. You know, it's not just this fucking, these people coming into the house type thing. There's a little something else to it. I'll get to that. But right now, it's leading up to what we all know is coming. They're going to come into the house type shit, you know, and then it's all going to get amped up. When it happened, when I watch movies like this, because this part, whenever they finally show up at the house, the doorbell's ringing, you know, they're all just kind of sitting at the table and the dinner hasn't really started yet. They're just all kind of sitting there. But then they hear the doorbell and they assume that it's the brother-in-law and little fucking Bobby Joe there. So, the girlfriend of Paw Paw, the one he laid the fucking pipe to earlier, when the doorbell's ringing, nobody fucking moves. Everybody just kind of sitting there. And then the girlfriend, she's like, oh, I'll get the door. Because I think Greg was going to get it. And she was like, nah, you've been doing enough today. I'll go get the door. And I'm still sitting there going the whole time, like, you got a little fat fuck Leslie's son over there. He ain't lift a finger yet to do anything except fucking look for porn on his phone and jack off. And I'd have been like, go get the door, fucking Tubby. Go get the door. But the girlfriend, the older lady, goes to get the door. When she gets to the door, she's kind of looking through the peephole. Something don't seem quite right. And you can tell by the way she's looking, something ain't right. Well, then you hear noise upstairs, and then we go upstairs. At this point, the daughter, the little cocaine queen, is in the shower. Well, this person broke through her window, sitting on the bed, and this person has basically taken a stuffed animal, like a little pink stuffed animal, and cut the bottom of it and cut the inside, pulled the insides out, and now he's wearing the little stuffed animal bear as a mask. And so, yeah, he's, you know, 60 shades of fucking crazy. And he just kind of sitting on the bed. They hear this noise. They hear the breaking. The dad just thinks it's the fucking, because apparently the daughter is kind of mental. Like, she's out there. Whatever shit's going on in her head, I don't know. Because she keeps having flashbacks of her just running on the track. Her mom mentioned to her at some point about blacking out. She's on her fucking cocaine. I don't know. It shows her in the shower, a little crying, got a little black mascara, blah, blah, blah. Who knows? Teenagers nowadays, everything fucking upsets them and sends them over the fucking cliff. So I don't know what the girl's problem was. But so they hear that, they just assume, you know, crazy depressed daughter's up there fucking throwing a tantrum. And the girlfriend is at the door. They're wanting in. She knows it ain't right. She turns to go back toward the kitchen to let them know that something ain't right. She just turns like casually, like, man, this don't seem right. Don't go back there and don't get fucking Greg. It's his house. Let him see what he wants to do. When she turns, you see like a little gunshot, little pew. This part here was the first one that kind of jumped at me. I was like, I don't like it. It was a gunshot. Basically, she gets shot, and you see a little blood supposed to like hit the wall. It, you know, I just feel like that could be more. That could have been more. They basically shoot through the door. It made you think. It wasn't like it blew a pretty good little hole in the door. You see the hole, and then it shoots her like in the stomach, and she kind of goes down to hear the gunshot type thing. And I just feel like they didn't move a lot, man. For the shit that was going down when the gunshot went off, it just seemed way too quiet. I wish that could have been a little louder, because it looks like they had a shotgun. When they get into the house, it's like they got a shotgun and like a couple rifles, like hunting rifles. I just wish it would have been louder. And that little moment of like the gun goes off, the lady goes down, and the family, they kind of move and then they don't move. It was weird the way they reacted. And then all of a sudden, now we got them all coming into the house, and now they're all up in there. They decide they're going to tie the family up. They put the ropes on them, tie them to there, because they're all sitting around the kitchen table when they come in there. And nobody seems to move pretty much when they come in there. It's kind of like they just rolled up in there and they got their guns, and the family just kind of sits there. Greg is got like, I don't know. Greg don't do shit. When they first come in there, the only one that says anything to them or stands up at all is the mom, Constance, I don't remember, but she's the only one that says anything. The only one's got like a little bit of backbone. And then you got Greg sitting there like Greg ain't doing shit. Greg is a defeated man. Greg is just one bullet away from paradise, man. That's where Greg's at. You can just look at him and tell. And you can tell by this group that comes in there, like the one's like their main leader. And, you know, they got the one with he had the stuffed animal on his head. There's a girl there. Like I said, there's a total of 5 of them. And they all come in there and they're all like all dirty looking, just nasty looking, all got nasty ass teeth. I don't know where the fuck they've been living all this time. Where they come from. They look like they just got out of a fight, because some of them look, their faces all kind of scabbed up, beat up. They just look teeth like just terrible, man. And you're like, where the fuck these people come from? Like, they got that and here's the feel I got from this right off the bat, especially when I started watching like the main cap is what they called him, like the leader of them, the older dude. He's like an old war veteran, this dude, because he kept talking about fucking some shit he did out in Cambodia. So this dude's dealing with some shit. He's already fucking checked out. The war has fucked him up. And so he keeps making these comments about Cambodia and the shit like that. And so, you know, he is all for, like, he could snap. We got it. And so they're all in there. And I was like, they just all dirty, beat up. And they're sitting there talking shit to him. And they're basically saying like, hey, this is where you're going to do what we tell you to. And, you know, you're filling in the blanks. Okay, home invasion. At some point, they're going to torture them. This type of shit's going to happen. And the mom's the only one that does anything. Greg, not on the law. Greg don't do shit. He just sits there. And so then they're sitting around, and then they're going to decide, like, we're going to all sit down and have dinner. At this point, nobody's really been tortured. They got them tied up. That's it. They said, we're going to have dinner. One of them said, hey, we need to put on our Sunday best, which means they got to go look for shit in the house to put on because they want to dress up. Well, then the one dude, like I said, I don't remember his name. He says he basically wants to like claim the daughter as like his like date or whatever, and basically you got to get her dressed up. Well, then the girl, the little lunatic girl, she sets her eyes on fucking little young buck Leslie over there, and she like wants to take him. And then all of a sudden we hit this thing where it's like showing 3 screens kind of, and then you got this one part where the girl has pulled Leslie up into the bedroom. We got a part to where that one dude has pulled the daughter up into another room. And then we got fucking the Cap and the dude that was on the side road. They're in the bathroom, like they're getting dressed and shit. And at some point you start seeing like where the daughter is in the room she's in. She sees the bag that has all the phones in it because earlier the dad, Greg, had a bright idea on Thanksgiving. He didn't want to have all the electronics in the fucking house being used. They just want to have a day to enjoy family time. He took everybody's electronics, the phones, all that shit, put them in a bag, put them upstairs. Now, the daughter's up there. She now sees this bag with the phones. And while all this is going on, the girl's got her boy Leslie up in there. I'm like, okay, she's going to she like asked Leslie some, she like, you like have to put out on the first date. And Leslie's like, oh yeah, maybe. And I'm like, okay, is Leslie right now probably not hating life? This girl's not the best looking thing in the world. She looks kind of rough, but Leslie does not look like the type that has ever put his dick into anything other than a fucking sock. So he's probably like, shit, fuck it, man. Hell, let her have it. And while he's in there, you start seeing him. He looks to the side of his bed and he has him kind of under the bed, a katana sword, the ninja katana sword. And he does look like one of those types. He just looks like one of those types you see in the backyard, trying to make a TikTok video of him swinging that fucking katana sword and somebody off to the side going, what's that movie? Oh, I just lost my fucking blank mind. Jason Bourne. Yeah, where somebody like sees his little chunky ass swinging his katana sword and somebody's sitting there going, Jesus Christ. It's the Bourne guy, Jason Bourne. And so he has a katana sword. And he goes to grab it. When he goes to grab it, she grabs him by the dick and it kind of throws him off guard. And then all of a sudden she looks over there and our boy Leslie has him a fucking a little penis pump. And she grabs the penis pump and she's sitting there playing with this penis pump, talking shit to him. And I'm sitting there going, where the hell did this come from? Like, we get her dude's a little fucking, he likes his porn, but this dude's got him a fucking penis pump sitting right next to his bed. And she's got it playing with it. And all this shit's going on. But then next thing you know, bam, we're all at the kitchen table. They're all there. They're all dressed up. The crazy girl found like an old wedding dress, like the mom's wedding dress or some shit, put that on. The other one, the Cap, he's kind of got him a little suit and tie he found. And they kind of fixed themselves up. Now they're ready to have the dinner. And then it starts with the, some of the torture shit goes down. It's not nothing crazy. There's a part where the grandpa, he's sitting there asking them to let him go to the bathroom. This part I thought was funny. He's like, I need to go to the bathroom. Basically saying, I don't want to like soil myself in front of my family right now. I don't want to look like that punk, that little bitch, that fucking right in front of your fucking daughter and your grandkids. So he's wanting to go to the bathroom. The dude's not really letting him. Cap asked the dude that was on the side, I think his name, I don't remember the dude's name, but he asked him about, hey, they get some conversation going back and forth about like, breaking his fingers. And so he ain't letting Cap go to the bathroom. He's just going to like break his finger. The dude comes up, grabs that fingers on the table, grabs it, goes to break it. And I'm thinking, oh, he's going to break his finger. No. Oh boy, going to break it. You hear it break. And then he just rips it the fuck off. Like, just pulls it right off. Like, and when he pulls it off, you see it kind of like someone just cut it off and there's like little blood shooting out of it onto the table, and at that moment when he broke his finger and ripped it off, you heard the screaming. But the cool part is you heard in the background Paw shitting his fucking pants. You hear it. And then you see the people at the table could smell it, because even Greg wasn't looking away because of the fucking finger ripped off and the blood squirting on the table. Greg only turned his head away when he smelled fucking Grandpa's shit, when he shit his pants in that moment. So now Grandpa just sitting there at the table, shit all in his pants. Dude just had his finger ripped off. Then he gonna do it again. It's like, ripping another finger off. You got the shit, pulling up on the fucking tablecloth of the blood. And at some point, the daughter now is down at the table, and she's mouthing to her dad that she found the phones. And I'm like, okay, she's gonna, at some point she's gonna figure out a way out. She manages to cut her ropes. She manages to scoot under the table and start crawling. She manages under the table, gets out from under the table, makes it up the stairs into the room with the phones, goes to make a phone call. But Crazy Turk is the name of the one with the damn stuffed animal on his head. He's the loony one. Like, he's constantly screaming, running around on all fours. Like, you can tell he's like been burned or something. Part of his face looks burned up. Like, he's out there nuts. And so when old girl, the daughter, runs up there to get to the phones, the Turk chases him. He gets in there. When she gets the phone, Turk breaks into the room, jumps on top of her. Now they're wrestling. I'm like, okay, is our girl, the daughter, she gonna fucking man up? She gonna kill? Is this where she gonna kill Turk right out the gate? But no, the other dude comes in, and he kind of like, he says something. And in the moment right now, Turk's on the ground. The daughter is on top. Like, she is handling Turk. Well, then the dude walks in, the other fucked up guy walks in, and when he says something like, hey, for some reason she kind of stops and turns, and when she turns, he slaps the shit out of her, knocks her out cold. One little cool part right here in this part, and I noticed it, because I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm an ass guy. I like a nice booty on a lady. Now, our girl, the daughter, at this moment when she's running, she's nothing in but black bra and panties. Like, that's what she was dressed up as, is what when they took her upstairs. But she takes off bra and panties on. The wrestling's going on. We got our girl, she's got a little bra and panties on. She's winning. Dude walks in, slaps shit out of her. When she falls over, hits her, falls over face first on the floor. Ass jiggle. Just I've seen those videos, they show videos of ladies out there shooting the guns, and they be shooting these high powered rifles. And then all of a sudden they give you a slow mo when she pulls the trigger and her booty kind of jiggles a little bit. Well, a girl, when she gets slapped, hits the ground, booty jiggle. That is just one of the things that jumped out at me. But, so now we get them all back down there to the table. Had this little episode, girl kind of blew up, they got her back down to the table. Now we're all at the table. Now we get the fucked up shit hits right here. This is where I was like, oh, wasn't expecting this. They have all their phones now. They're downstairs, all at the table. They have all their phones, the iPad and shit that the dad took from them earlier. So they're going through the phones. The crazy girl, she's got a phone and she's talking to Leslie, and she's like, oh, Leslie, is this your dick? And he tries to play it off like, yeah, that's mine. But apparently she knows that's not his dick. Because apparently I'm thinking she may have seen his dick upstairs a few minutes ago. So she sees this picture on this phone. Dick. She jokes with Leslie. Nah, Leslie, that's not your dick. Then she turns to Daddy, which is Greg, the father, the Fasha. And she's like, no, this is his phone. It is the dad's phone that she has. In Dad's phone is a picture of some titties. You don't see this picture, but here's what it was. A titty with a dick in between the titties. He had some pictures of that shit. Maybe there was, he was having a little good time, rubbing his dick through them titties, snapping him a quick little shot with his phone type thing, And then I'm like, and then they start reading the messages. There was some messages on his phone to a girl named Morgan. Little, hey, baby, this and that shit. And then you come to find out that Greg has been out slumming it with one of his, like, he had like he worked in like film production or some shit like that. One of his little actresses, whatever it was his little fuck buddy that he had. And they're like messaging back and forth. And he's basically got her believing that what I took it as is like, he does not have a family. Like, he just basically still stays with his mom because he makes a comment to her about like maybe they can see each other after the mother goes down. And as they're reading these messages that are on his phone between him and Morgan, his wife Constance looks at him and goes, "But your mother died like, I don't remember if it was like 10 or 15 years ago. The mom died, but he was still using this somehow with this girl." And I'm like, holy shit. So in this moment, everybody at the table is finding out that Dad's been out cheating. Dad's got a little side piece over here that she don't even know that he's got a family. She just thinks he's living with his mom or some shit. And I'm like, man, it's also, then it's like, well, I didn't see that twist coming. Now, what they end up deciding to do, which I thought was a very cool ass part. They basically, oh no, before I get to that, after all that shit went down, no, that's not it. I've been smoking, people. You know how sometimes I get a little sidetracked sometimes. Oh yeah, here we go. After all this news came out, you see them kind of like, they want to play like a little prank type thing, kind of, because you see in the camera shot, which is very cool, you see Greg, and you see surrounding him is the fucking crazies. They're all around him, and they're all being like, "Shh, don't say nothing, be quiet." And they got the phone on speaker. They make him with his family all at the table, wife, kids, father-in-law, everybody's at the table. They make him call her and put her on, and has it on speakerphone. And when she starts talking to him, you know, he's kind of like, she's like, "Hey, babe," and all this shit here. And basically what they want him to do is get her to come over to the house. They want her there. Her name's Morgan. So basically to get her there, she's asking him, she's like, "You don't sound right. Is everything okay?" And then he basically pulls the line. He's like, "My mom just died." And then she's like, "Oh, poor thing, blah, blah." He's like, "Can you get over here? Like, come over here as fast as you can," type thing. And so that was their plan, to bring her there, because when they hang up, they're all laughing and shit. And I thought that was very cool. I liked the way that one little part where it was shot with them all around him, you know, and I'm just like, holy shit, like Greg, no wonder Greg's acting the way Greg's acting. Greg had him a little fucking side piece. He was already, you know, doing his own thing, you know. And so the girl's going to show up. Another kind of cool part when this thing was, when this happened, when she shows up, they're giving just the camera shot through the door where they shot through earlier, blew the hole in the door. And it's got like, you see, looking through the hole, some blood around it, pouring rain outside because it's been raining the whole time. And then you see somebody walk up to the door, and you can see they have like an umbrella, and they can see the door like something don't look right. And they kind of drop the umbrella, and that's Morgan. Morgan has arrived. As in Morgan, as soon as she drops the umbrella, boom, comes up behind her is old fucking little stuffed animal head guy, Turk, snatches her up, drags her into the house. Now we're all here, one big fucking happy family now. We got the side piece up in there. We got Greg at the table, the wife, everybody. Bam, we got them both up in there. We get the old crazy dude. And as I'm watching this, when I first seen him, I'm like, man, what is it? Something just seemed kind of familiar about how they were. It almost seemed like they tried to make it like the Rob Zombie Devil Rejects type of thing. Which is, I love, just a little side note, I love fucking Rob Zombie movies. So whatever, I love them. But yeah, it kind of gave that vibe of those, the way the old guy Cap was, the way they were acting, the way they were just like talking down, and the way they were, you know, end up treat the girls, you know, stuff like that, had that same feel to it. Because when Morgan shows up, there's a part where Cap basically has his daughter and Morgan, and he basically they hold both of them, and I think he nicknamed his daughter like, was it peach pie? And then he named Morgan like apple pie. And basically what was about to go down is it was peach cobbler. Yeah, peach cobbler was his daughter, apple pie was Morgan. He basically making the dad choose. You need to pick peach cobbler, your daughter, or apple pie Morgan, because oh boy, the other crazy is about to take her upstairs. And you can tell that moment he's going to take her up there and rape her, you know. And so, but what was crazy to me, when he's asking him this whole thing's building up. And the wife's yelling, everybody's yelling, all the shit's going down. Greg was having a hard time making this decision. The decision did not come quick to Greg. Greg wasn't quick to say like, oh my God, that's my daughter. No, you know, take fucking apple pie. It didn't come quick. It was like Greg was kind of sitting there like, oh shit, I want him to fucking take my daughter, or I really like this Morgan girl, you know. And I'm like, it was a tough decision for Greg. Greg in that moment was like struggling. And I'm like, holy shit, man. And so he's going to take, you end up seeing him taking fucking Morgan upstairs. At the same time, the crazy girl takes Leslie, the son, back up to his room. She's ready to finish what they started. Now, Morgan's up in the other room. No, Morgan's in the room. No, they're all in the same room. It was weird. It was like Leslie's room was the boom boom room, because at some point the girl had Leslie up in there in the beginning, and then all of a sudden the rape took place with Morgan. They don't show anything on that, just a little FYI. It kind of shows him being all creepy on top of her in the bed, and you can tell what happens. You come to see that at some point the girl takes Leslie back up into the room to finish what she started. And this part to me was funny, because when she has Leslie up there, I'm thinking, like, okay, she's about to damn, like, you know, take his cookie. What is she going to do to him? But she has like she has the penis pump in her hand. And at this moment, so much shit's going down all at the same time. A lot's going on. And you see her take that penis pump and she puts it over his eye, like over his eye. And then she starts pumping that thing. And I was like, holy shit, is she going to suck his eyeball out with his own fucking penis pump? And she's got that thing pushed down on his head and she's pumping it. And you see it. And this was kind of cool to me. It was like creative as fuck, because it was like, you see this eyeball shoot out and the little penis pump feels full of blood and shit like that, you know. And you see her later. He's not dead. She just pulled his eyeball out. And I'm sitting there like going, holy shit. And at the same time, Morgan is still getting fucking, you know, the dude, Morgan got raped by the one dude, but you know, Morgan is a fucking fighter, because she got her hands on the katana sword, and she got the katana sword and she went to work with it, because once, the one dude got finished, he basically told her, like, as he walked out, he's like, made a comment like, I've had better, or some shit like that. Well, he kind of walks out, and then it was like Turk's turn, the fucking dude with the pet stuffed animal on his head. He's like, your turn. He goes in there, the door shuts, and you hear him fucking screaming, and you see the katana sword come through the door. And now our girl's fucking just going crazy. Whole lot of shit going down. And the two girls eventually going to get away from the house. The daughter and the side piece Morgan. They get a whole lot of commotion goes down. They get out. They're running down the street. They go to the neighbor's house. They go into the knock on the door. The neighbor, you know, lets them in. They come in, and apparently can't call 911. The storm's going on. All the lines are down. Flooding's happened. He basically tells them my cell phone don't do shit in this weather. So they've gotten free, got all the way down to there. Nothing happens. So he basically, he takes them into a part of his house where he's got like this tote. And you can tell, because they explain to him what all happened. Somebody kidnapped their family. He shows them this tote that had, you could tell it had like some guns and shit in it. He was going to help them go back there and take these dudes down. But before he gets to do that, bam, Turk, the little stuffed animal head guy shows up, takes him out. Then the girls end up fighting with fucking Turk. They get him tied up. They grab the guns. They go to the house. Back at the house, shit's going down. The group, because when everything kicked off, Cap ends up dying. Greg actually had a manly moment. And when all this shit commotion's going on, he takes like the little turkey saw that you saw the turkey with, rubs it into his neck, kills Cap. Now the leader of the group's dead. So now they're all kind of beefing back and forth. Like, who's going to be the boss? How's this whole thing going to work? And hold on one second. Jim, that break. I got ice in my mouth. Okay. But you're starting to see the friction with the group. They're not getting along, and everything's building up. And eventually the girl comes walking back in with Leslie, and he got his fucking eye missing. The mom is just stone cold. She's just kind of sitting there, and she has these looks of like, but they're just something like, I don't know. When you got the bad guys fighting each other, next thing you know, you're going to have the fucking daughter show up with Morgan. They got a gun now. The other people's got guns. The whole thing's going to go down. Before it really blows up, like they torture and they do kill Greg. They basically say stuff the turkey on Greg and just shove his mouth full of stuff until he dies. There's a part where the one dude, I gotta remember his name's bothering me because I can't remember. Francis, no. I think his name was Black Forest. I think that was his name. He was the guy on the side of the road, Black Forest, I believe. But there's a part where he is almost like he's acting like a preacher or some shit, and he's like starts squeezing the head of Leslie. That's like the only time you see the mom kind of get upset, maybe. It goes so fast right here toward the end. It's just so much going on. You just got to fucking keep up with it because it's going to be a big fight going to go down. There's the typical shit where you realize, like, if you have a chance to kill somebody, why don't you kill them now? And there's parts where killing's going on right here, it seems like, but then like two are sitting over here. It got busy right there toward the end. A lot went on. But it just, and then it gets to the ending, and the ending is where it made me have to think a little bit. A part of me liked the ending, a part of me didn't like the ending. A part of me, I did like the best thing about the ending is that Mama Constance is not going to let our girl Morgan just get away. So in what's that word I'm looking for? She's innocent. Yeah. Either way, Morgan ain't gonna make it out. Unfortunately, Morgan was the side piece. Morgan didn't know no better. Maybe Morgan did know. I'm not 100% sure, but I did like the fact that Mama took care of fucking Morgan. Basically, when it's all said and done, Mama Constant's gonna be the last one standing. And I told you I was gonna spoil the shit out of it. But Mama being the last one standing, it had me. Then I started going, was this real? Was this real? Or was this just a mom who was so sick of her fucking life, and maybe just imagine, maybe this was all an imagination. Maybe this was all like, she's so over her ungrateful family. Maybe she's over her ungrateful kids and a husband that's been stepping out and ain't putting no effort in. And was this just her thinking? Like, was she just sitting there that morning in bed, and was it a dream? Maybe she was just wishing, like, this is how I wish it would go down. Because there's some things that happen toward the end and that go on where it kind of makes you be like, what the hell? And you just have to see it. You got to watch it. You should have watched it already. Um, and then I liked that part about it. I liked it that it made me wonder, was this real? Was this just what's really going on in her mind? Like what she wants to happen? Like she really, really wishes this would happen to her family. She'd just be like cut loose and go do her own thing, like start her whole new life again. Maybe it was real. Maybe she's the one that did all of this killing. Maybe she's the one that killed everybody. And it was just all that shit going on was just all in her head, you know. But it was it was definitely a ride. One thing about it is you don't know who to fucking like or pull for in the movie, really, because nobody in the family, the good family, all of them were fucking annoying. It You don't really like any of them. Of course, I wanted Leslie right out of the gate. He's a disrespectful piece of shit. But then the family was so fucked up. But then the crazies, they were fucked up too. Just hateful, mean people. You don't know where they come from. You never know what any backstory really on them. The only one you get any kind of story on is, I think, Black Forest. I believe that's his name. He kind of gives some of his life story when he's doing his little, almost like a preaching part toward the end of it. It was low budget. There was some stuff in it, like the part earlier where the girlfriend got shot, it was something I was kind of like, man, that's just the blood just looked real cheap type thing. And this is just thoughts that I have as I'm watching it, in that particular moment. And then it gets to the part like where the eyeball got sucked out with the penis pump. That was so fucking creative and cool to me. I was just like, I don't know. Like that can't really happen, but it'd be so fucking cool if it could, just to, the fact that they did it. Yeah, I like the ending. I like the ending. Made me wonder, like, what the fuck just happened? Like, was this all mom having a dream? Was it like in the beginning where I told you in the beginning where she was in bed and you see a drop of blood hit her cheek, was that like the next day after? Like, was that the later that evening after mom killed them all? Maybe she went to lay down and that, the little drop of blood was maybe left over from her killing. I don't know. It put your own spin to it, but I think it was like, in my mind, it was just her wanting to do that to her family. Like her sitting there like, I've had enough of this. I want to just go a fresh start and just let them all die. The daughter was like the only one she seemed to give any type of shit about. Like she cared more about the daughter. Didn't give a shit about the dad. The son was just fucking, he was a piece of shit. But it's one of those movies I'm a sucker for, family. I enjoy a good low budget independent horror. And I tell you every week, family, I never get on here and tell you to not watch a movie. I tell you to watch any horror movie you can watch. And I'm telling you to go watch this one. Go support independent. It's free. It's a little over an hour. And go have your own opinion on it. And when it's all said and done, you know how I do it here. Fuck it, marry it or kill it. And for this one, this is a kill for me. It's not one I want to go back to and watch. It's the, we call him the sea donkey. The little, you did it one night, you did it, and you ain't proud of it, and you don't want to really tell nobody. But it's a kill for me. But I'm still telling you to go watch it. Have your own opinion of it and enjoy the ride. It has some, it makes you think when you're watching it, and it's got some shit going like what the fuck's going on here? Or, it just had that because I'm a sucker for these movies, man. I like them. I like them sometimes when they got some cheesy lines, some cheesy writing. It's low budget. I like them. I have a good time with them. I enjoy getting on here talking about them. Those are my favorites. The ones like this one that I get to talk about that just, yeah. I had a good time. It was, I had a good time with it. I'm not going to call them again. But yeah, that's how we're going to do it for Derelicts 2017, the Happy Thanksgiving movie. Yeah, go watch it. It's free on Tubi. It's not going to cost you anything, family. You already know what's coming next week. Our very first ever live YouTube live show, celebrating 500 subscribers. We're going to be drinking. I'm going to be drinking. I don't know what y'all are going to be doing. I'm going to be drinking, smoking, and then we're going to do it live and have a good time with it. So that's what's coming. Go do the homework. Told you can watch it for free on YouTube. I appreciate y'all again, family. Appreciate you hanging out with us, stopping by, hanging out with this little fucked up family. Thank you all for getting us to 500 subscribers. Now we're going after 1,000 people. I'm just impressed. There's that many people out there like us that like shit like this. But yeah, thank you all. Go follow along on all the social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram. There's a TikTok. And like I said, the YouTube show. Leave comments. Go rate. Go ask questions. Email us. Make suggestions for movies to watch. I welcome it all. Nothing's off limits here. We got thick skin. Hey, family, appreciate y'all hanging out for another episode. Now, we've reached that part of the episode and that part of our time around the table. I need you all to reach over there, gather up all your shit. Need y'all go put y'all's chairs away, grab y'all's drinks, and y'all get the fuck out of here.
What's your favorite scary movie?
We have such sights to show you.
Monsters!
All you have left is my desire.
My name is Frankenstein!
Batman's got Mars.
Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
See this? This is my boomstick.
I ate his liver with some fava beans. Nice community. Christmas.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It's alive. It's alive.
Here's Johnny. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror.
Welcome to the debauchery.